understand the basics of sewing, from the basics to more advanced, or from level 1 to level 2 to level 3. So I'm here to help you with the basics because I remember how I struggled. Now, sewing and interior decorating isn't really my career. They were my hobbies. They were things I did as a child, and I didn't even know what interior decorating was. And so as time went by, and something happened to me, I didn't get to do what I really wanted to do. So I ended up using my hobby to, make a living. And I do love it. I might not love, being a seamstress, but I love designing. I wake up every morning with a new style in my head, but more so I love teaching. And so that's why I try to do a video every day to help you to understand, the basics of sewing. So thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. A lot of you have not subscribed, but what happened, you are actually watching, and I'm seeing the growth, and I really do appreciate that, and it really encourages me to continue. So without further ado, I've shown you how to cut the basic bodice. So here is the basic bodice. I have a video on how to make your braid bigger because I remember I struggled with that. Remember, in the earlier days, I did not plan to do this as a career, and I wasn't at home all the time, and so I had to sew my clothes, so I struggled with that. So I had to find a way to do it, and so I want to help you. So I use the back to cut the front, as I always do, especially for the beginners. From the center back here, you also have this center front right here. So now you're going to need the button stand. So I marked 1.5 inches away from the center back here, or the center front. And it could be 2 inches, depending on also the person's bust. So it could be a little bit bigger than that, but ½ inch will work for the allowance, stitching allowance, and then the other inch for the button stand. So from the neckline here, because I want to make a bigger break, now remember the back guides you as to where the front is, and for the front you normally come down like 3 inches, but for this I'm going to come down from here, okay, which the back is where, guides you. So this is where that is it. So this is for the front. So I'm going to come down about 4 inches, and I'm going to design my break because I want a big break. Okay, so I'm going to cut in this, and this is where the 4 inches is. This is where the line is for the button stand from here. So I'm going to come up and curve it up there. And this could be, pointed, or, a little bit round. It all depends on how you want to shape it, and as I say, this can be very big. Once I got a suit to make, the break was so big. Those days we had to use style books. The break was so big, I had to put green paper and form and pin and cut, and I did get it. Was a beautiful suit. So let me cut it and let you see. So this is what it was like. Okay, so as I said, I cut into the neck here, the neckline, and I came right out. I passed the line for the button and came back right out. Then I continued with the button and I branched off. So this is the line for the button, and so I just came out like that and formed that. So you can use your pencil and just sketch how you want it. So this is what we have here, and as you can see, that's the break. And isn't it beautiful? It's as simple as that, which a lot of people don't know, you know that they can do that and get a bigger break, and still can be bigger than this, and it can be higher. You can bring it way out here and come back in here and still narrow off to the body, so you can branch off here and come back here and make it round and go back like that. Now extended the basic bodice and had from the waist to the hip, and this is what it's looking like. Okay, that is what it's looking like. Now it is a jacket, and as you know, we would fold back. Even back then, I remember I wore suits that were like this. Just one side would break back. So this is what you would get here, all right? And we would, so this is the fabric for the collar. So now you would join the shoulder, decide what length, okay? And add your collar. Okay, this is long, let me cut it. If you want me to do, a video on how you would put on the collar, then I could do that for you. So this is what the basic, these styles doesn't really seems to be around anymore. The craft is surely dying, and it is so very sad, because just like food that we need every day, and so the farmers are important, just the same we need to wear clothes, and even if you can wear nowadays the stretch clothes that are being sold in the Chinese store, when you turn 65 and 70, you don't want to be wearing those clothes. You want clothes that are made to your fit at that age. So it's a sad thing that the craft is actually dying, and that's why I really enjoy doing what I'm doing on this platform, showing you, or keeping it alive. All right. So this is 2 pieces of fabric, and I said I cut 9 inches. Let me measure to see. Okay, it's actually 8 inches from the hemline. So I cut that 8 inches, and I cut this fabric 9¼ inches. Okay, after I cut it 9¼ inches, the next thing, now the goddess shapes, it has a slant shape. So I cut it, I can't find my ruler. So I marked off here from the point here to there, and let me show you what I get. Now these styles doesn't really seems to be around anymore. The craft is it's surely dying, you know, and it is so very sad because just like food that we need every day, and so the farmers are important, just the same we need to wear clothes, you know, and even if you can wear nowadays the stretch clothes that are being sold in the Chinese store, when you turn 65 and 70, you don't want to be wearing those clothes. You want clothes that are made to your fit at that age. So it's a sad thing that the craft is actually dying, you know. And that's why I really enjoy doing what I'm doing on this platform, showing you, you know, or keeping it alive. All right. It was being worn. It's not being worn anymore. So I show you. So this is what the gutted looks like. So I'm only going to have 4, 2 to the front and 2 to the back. And you cut it, as I say, right in the dark line. You will now fit it in this area. All right. Sometimes a little bit challenging, but it can be done. And you would fit it in to this area also. So on both sides you would fit it in there. It's a very lovely style. And so as I said, you would have 2 to the back and 2 to the front. When stitching, it lies flat back here. It's just that I want you to see what it's looking like. So this is what one of the style that you would actually be getting from the basic skirt. You know, you don't need a splitting back or a pleating back when you have this. So you can make it over your knee or wherever you want to, you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from this video. And thank you for watching. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe.